Hello everyone, and welcome to my video showing you, modeling for you, how to write a thesis statement. Hopefully it's okay. This is my first time doing this, which is the biggest reason why I'm taping it and not actually doing it in front of you. Alright, so the first thing I did is, or you've always got to do whenever you're writing an argumentative essay, is to think to yourself, what is my claim? In this case, I need you to decide who I am blaming primarily for the destruction of the Taino. So what I did here is I basically made kind of a laundry list for each of these 5 defendants: Taino, Columbus, Columbus's men, the king and queen, and the system of empire. I made a laundry list of things that might make them look guilty. And honestly, for the Taino, I was kind of stretching it a little bit. It's very hard to blame the victim, as we've discussed. Alright, so I have about 8 things for the Taino. Again, they're kind of reaching a little bit. Columbus, he's got a whole lot. Whole lot of things. 15 things. And not all these things are equal. Some are worse than others. But he's got a lot here. So maybe I'll pick Columbus. I don't know. Actually, I do know, but I'm making pretend I don't. Alright, Columbus's men. Only 5 things. But number 4 is a biggie. That's a big one. They did the actual dirty work. Alright, they raped women, they set dogs on infants, they cut off hands, they whipped Tainos. Alright, but here's the thing. They wanted to keep their noses and their ears, so maybe that influenced their decision to go along with the orders. So I'm not saying they're completely off the hook, but I don't think I would blame them primarily. Now we get to the king and queen. And again, the fact that they financed the whole thing, the fact that they at some point knew of Columbus's actions, and I find it kind of a hollow claim that they didn't know. Alright, sometimes you choose not to realize certain things. I think this is one of them. Willful ignorance. They knew. Definitely at a certain point, they knew. They financed it. But I don't know if they're primarily responsible. Now we get to the system of empire. And again, this is the motivating system behind Columbus, behind the king and queen, behind all of the explorers/conquerors in the New World. And if you want to take it even farther, African exploration or conquest by Europe was even motivated by the system of empire. You can argue World War I. Okay, you're going to learn about imperialism when you take US 2. That's that. Alright. And we talked about how it's my contention that I think people are more controlled by their environment than they think. And here's the thing. We have, the good angel and the bad angel on our shoulders, duking it out inside of our heads, according to Freud. And so we have the desire to help, to nurture other people, but also the desire to destroy other people. And here it is. Somewhere along the line, Columbus's men, Columbus, the king and queen, had to look in the mirror and say to themselves, "Self, what's happening here is wrong. It's really, really, really wrong." Any human being would have seen that. Oh, there's a misspelling right here. Continued. Any human being would have seen that. What caused them to overlook it? To maybe change their belief system or alter or rationalize it? They had cognitive dissonance. Had they overcome it? The system of empire. It gave them a rationalization to do what they were doing. So, that's who I chose. I'm not saying that's what you have to think, but it's who I chose and what I'm going to be writing about. Now remember what we learned are the 3 ingredients of a thesis statement. You've got to have a topic, you've got to have, in an argumentative essay, a claim, and you've got to have reasons. Okay? So, here goes, and I already have my thesis written out, but I'm going to try and recreate my thinking as I wrote it, and write kind of a rough draft of it and then fix it up as we go along. Alright, so The system of empire. That's who I'm blaming. I'm going to start by typing that. The system of empire and the desire for riches and power that it demanded of people, of European peoples, is the main reason for the destruction of the Taino Indians. Alright, that's more or less the backbone of a thesis statement. Now here's what you gotta do, and this is true with your essay too, not just the thesis statement. You gotta look back and think, how can I make it better? Can I reach for better words? Can I say the same thing in less words, called economy of words? Alright, so let's go. The system of empire, and let's look at this second clause here. And the desire for riches and power that it demanded of European peoples. I don't know, I think the word demanded might be too strong. Because remember, the whole dialogue between you and your outside environment, it's a dialogue, it's an interaction. It's not one totally controlling the other, although in this case it's almost, I think. Nonetheless, I still think demanded might be too strong of a word here. Alright, so I seem to remember somewhere in the reading the word frenzy. The frenzy for riches and power that it created within. How about fostered? Fostered in, oh, I know what word to use. In your video quizzes, the phrase, the Atlantic world. Because that encompasses both Europe and over here. Alright, the eastern coast of the colonies and Europe is the Atlantic world. The three legs of the triangular trade. That was a great triangle I'm doing, right? Alright, so the system of empire and the frenzy for riches and power that it fostered, helped create in the Atlantic world, is the main reason for the destruction of the Taino. Alright, I don't like the word reason. Sounds reductionist. Primary factor. In other words, that's me saying it isn't the only thing that caused it. It's just the biggest one, the primary factor. Alright. Leading to the destruction of the Taino Indians. Alright, so I have my topic, the destruction of the Taino Indians. I have my claim that the system of empire is the primary factor leading to it. Alright, so, and I have my reason, the frenzy for riches and power. Now that on the surface may only seem like one reason, but it encompasses a bunch of stuff. You know, it implies the amount of, it implies why or how it was able to control Columbus and the king and queen, and even afflict the Columbus's men. So there you have it. That's my video modeling how to write a thesis statement. I may still eventually have gone back to improve this a little bit to maybe give more reasons, but hopefully I didn't make a fool of myself. I'm approaching or passing 9 minutes, so as usual it's gone longer than expected, so it's time to end this video.